Hello everybody, and welcome to G Bear's windy day in the desert again. Wow, winds running between 33 and 40 miles an hour all day long. Oh my word, hunkered down, can't do much. You know what I mean. Look at that poor flag up there. It's a good thing I did a good stitch job on the end of that to keep it from fraying. It's been in winds like this now for going on 2 weeks, and it's holding up really well. I may take it down and run one more stitch line across that with a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine and make sure that it stays like that. That flag could last a while. Oh, anyway, I did get down to the garden house today, and the new Mousetrap was empty. But these winds blew like this all last night, and it was really bad. There were some dust devils that came through here. There were probably 10 acres in size. They were big. And I got out this morning, and stuff was blown everywhere. I had to go start collecting some of it around the desert. Just closed up everything out here. Got it all secured so I don't have to worry about that. The chickens are fed, the dogs are fed. The garden is watered. Oh my God, I stepped out into the wind. Good thing I have my wind resistant microphone on. Otherwise I'd be completely drowned out. I'm gonna be curious as to how well it held up there in that big gust of wind. So anyway, my friend Andy, who used to come up here all the time and park his RV on the other side of my RV, where I set him up his own little parking space, I guess he's decided that he's not going to be doing any more of that camp rolling. So he's selling his RV. It's a really nice unit. A really nice unit. Nice and clean, and he's one of those guys that meticulously takes care of his vehicles. So I guarantee you that everything on that was done on time when it needed to be done. It also has solar on the roof. I'm not sure how much solar is up there, but I think he has 2 or 3 of the large solar panels. I think they're 305 watts each. If you hear this, Andy, I know you watch all my videos. Leave a comment below and pin it if you can, so the other people can look at it and see what size solar you have on there. I know he has for the house batteries, he has 2 of the 12 volt 100 amp hour Renogy batteries and a Renogy charge controller and all that stuff. And I know the batteries in it are all top notch, if not new. They're close to new. Wow, this wind is ridiculous, making me walk faster. So I wanted to get a video in tonight and let you know what's going on. This is my buddy here. This is Hopper. How you doing, Hopper? You got dirt on your face, you know. You know you got dirt on your face? Huh? You're a good boy, though. You are a good boy. Yeah, he's the one that got stung in the mouth by a scorpion or something, and that's what that dirt on the side of his face is. He's still producing a little saliva around it. So. And this is his sister. These two were both injured together, and that's one of the new ones. So I'll be moving all the new ones out pretty soon. They're all on solid food now, and they'll be going someplace where they're going to be getting adopted. So let's all keep our fingers crossed on that. All right, so these winds are nasty. I even got this open because it gets hot during the day. Well, there's a cloudy day in there laying down, getting some rest. Right, Cloudy Day? You like it in there, don't you? Yes, sirree. So, again on the Mousetrap, it's been windy like this. And let's take a walk over and I'll do a quick show you. I did a little modification on it. And I've been getting all kinds of people suggesting different things that I should use for bait and things like that. And I appreciate your thoughts, but trust me, 10 years out here, I have tried most of the stuff you guys are recommending. So don't feel bad if I don't accept your recommendation, because like I said, after 10 years, I've tried just about everything that everybody on the internet has suggested, and it hasn't worked. So here's the trap I made, and I had to add 3 sheet metal screws on that end for extra weight, because just this wind itself, you see how easy that moves? Just the wind itself was causing that thing to flip up and stay up because the wind was blowing against it. So I had to add some weight to drop it down. And I put some seeds on top here, but nothing touched it. Nothing has touched that trap. 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 I guess they're all hunkered down for the wind or something. I guess so. Now I did put rosemary at the base of these trees for the fruit trees and my grapevine to keep the critters from wanting to get close enough to climb up. So hopefully that works. And I'm still propagating rosemary. Now, for those of you who don't know, propagating rosemary from clippings is a lot faster than trying to grow rosemary from seed. Okay, now I do have rosemary seed planted in here, and it's been in there for now, got to be 3 weeks now. Nothing showing up. But you got to remember that rosemary does not grow quickly. And for those of you who don't know anything about rosemary, rosemary also needs to be pruned, just like fruit trees. Every year you have to prune back the rosemary. And if you don't do that, you're going to lose your rosemary plant. So you prune it back, you save the rosemary leaves, put them in your spice container, and use them up for your chicken and all that. But don't let them just grow wild. They don't like that. All right. So I got some broccoli just starting to sprout up out of here. And yeah, there's another one right there. This is a volunteer. I'm not sure what it is, but I know this is most likely rutabaga. And if you're watching out there, my friend who sent me the rutabaga, who goes by the name Brush Bum, let me know, is that really rutabaga? I don't grow rutabaga on a regular basis, but he did send me some seeds, and I planted some out here, and then it got destroyed by a heat wave. But this one, I think, is a remnant of what was left over, because I did plant rutabaga in this area. And I've got a couple of spots right there where I can plant a couple more items, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put in there yet. Today I did put in a couple of cucumber plants. I put 4 in, actually. 2 in that hole, 2 in that hole. Hopefully at least 1 of each seed comes up. If all 4 come up, then I'll separate them and move them out. I got room to plant 2 more over next to it. And then I'll put one pole up the center where they can climb up a T-shaped pole and hang from there. Tomatoes are doing wonderful. Got flowers on, blooms on all of the big tomato plants everywhere. So they're doing just wonderful. I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes if this keeps going like this. The basil is coming up really well in between. So Thursday this week is the day to put my homemade fertilizer on these again. And that'll give them some more strength. I did set up this trellis pole across here, and I've got my twine over there, and I'll be setting up twine coming off of that thing to grab a hold of these plants and hold them up. Now the ones that are way out here by the outer edge and over there, I have some more of these poles. I'll be sticking those in beside them and tying them up to those. My little Concord grapevine is still alive, but it's really weak. I'm going to have to do something about that one. And everything else is just doing fine. In here, excuse me, I think what's keeping the critters out of here, if it ain't spreading to the other areas, is the strong smell of pine sol. Because I've got these pine sol dabs of cotton balls in each one of the plants here. And I went through today and took one capful of pine sol and poured it on each one of the cotton balls again to re-strengthen that strong smell of pine sol in this greenhouse. And hopefully that'll keep the critters away from my citrus trees, because I don't want them tearing into my citrus trees, if you know what I mean. My peach tree from seed is suddenly coming awake, so that's a good thing. And I got a few more branches that started waking up on this stem right here. I may end up, this looks like it's drying out. That's a Bartlett pear. I may end up cutting that off down here and regrafting later in the year. I'm not going to do it now because this tree has got some great grafts on it, and I don't want to weaken the tree because it's so young and small. But it looks like I'll have to come in here and do some more watering. I did refertilize this one, but it's not doing very well. So I'm going to, I'll get some bone meal on that one and see if I can't strengthen it up a little bit. Because I know it doesn't need any nitrogen because it's had horse manure on it all winter long, and it was looking good in the spring. But now it's starting to turn yellow, so it may need a little bit of potassium and potash. So I'll throw on some bone meal, which is high in those two elements, and it might help bring it back a little bit. And I got a bunch of little tiny figs coming out on my fig tree. Go figure. Look at my little figs there. Yeah, I might have to make some figgy pudding. Tiny Tim. All right. So anyway, that's what's been going on. My potatoes are starting to yellow out over there, and I've got a fresh plant coming up, but I may be ended up digging into those pretty soon. That one over there, the wind has torn the plastic to shreds on it. This wind is irritating me to no end. And all my little plants on this side over here are really looking good. I got all my radishes are all starting to sprout up everywhere here. You can see radishes everywhere. And then on this side here, got to get in close. These are carrots right here. So the carrots are starting to show up here. There's some carrots there and there and there. Yeah, so carrots are doing well. And down in here, I've got a bunch of things I didn't mark, but these look like peppers, and they're starting to sprout up. I got pepper there, something coming up there, something coming up there, something coming up there. So once they get a little bigger, I'll know what they are. But this wind is costing me a lot of water. It really is. And if I water, the wind blows over and dries it all out, because the humidity is very, very low. So yesterday, I pumped all my rain capture that I had up around the cabin and over by the containers. I pumped it all down here, and this container was full. So I had those two, this one full, and that one full. These two were drained and emptied. But I used half of this one, soaking everything down today. And already the winds have been blowing on it all day long and drying it out. I gotta put this cover back on, because believe it or not, these things work as mouse traps too. If you don't do that, a mouse will get up there, try to reach in to get a drink of water and fall in and die inside your water. You don't want that, right? I know I don't. All right, everybody. I'm going to go back inside, pour myself a glass of wine, and get my supper together. Thank you all for joining me. Don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, all of those things. We need that stuff, please. Please. It's all free. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. Thank you. This is G Bear signing off.